Extreme Collectibles here with a custom piece I don't know a lot about, which is kind of rare. And I don't know why I don't know about this one, but I guess you don't know what you don't know. I know what it is. I have no idea where it comes from or any of that data. I obviously bought it secondhand from an excellent reseller. So let's dive into this custom Hulk vs. Spider-Man. Extreme Collectibles here with custom 1/5 scale Gray Hulk vs. Spider-Man. As I said in the intro, I honestly don't know where this came from, which is surprising because I'm pretty knowledgeable in the custom world. But I can tell you that based on the bottom, they made 20 of these, and I believe they made 20 of the gray ones. I have seen them with the green Hulk, obviously. I don't know how many of those that they made. I bought this from a secondhand Facebook friend who gave me a great deal. He paid what he paid at retail, and just I had to pay shipping. So very happy with it. This is going to go to my Hulk collection in my office. I have two other gray Hulks there. I have an MVC and the old Sideshow one. Then I'm having like 5 greens and 3 reds. So I actually am getting a custom red Hulk in a few days, and that will air before this. So you'll actually see a picture of this already in my Hulk collection in my office. But this is a 1/5 scale, even though I think the scale's off. Hulk obviously looks like 1/5. That's about accurate. Spider-Man looks much too small. So Hulk is kind of polymorphic. He changes sizes, but this is definitely smaller than a 1/5 Spider-Man in my opinion. And you see this in Sideshow's Hulk vs. Spider-Man Dio. So that is also a supposedly 1/5 scale, I believe, and Spider-Man is extremely small. So if they modeled it after that, it's right. So who knows, but it looks cool. And so price on these, I've seen them go for anywhere from $1,100 to $1,500 on the secondary market, to kind of give you an idea where this is gauging at. You don't see them go up for sale too often, and I almost never see the green ones. The reason I went with gray is I have the Sideshow green Hulk vs. Spider-Man, which is a similar concept, but it's more of a mediocre Hulk. And not mediocre Hulk, sorry, modern Hulk. Well, no. It's not really a modern Hulk. Forget what I'm saying. But let's just talk about the concept and design of this one. So a few things going on with this. First of all, it is the gray Hulk, which you would never see the gray Hulk fight Spider-Man unless it's in the comics somewhere. Somebody correct me wrong. And Spider-Man vs. Hulk, just an awesome, awesome matchup, just like Wolverine vs. Hulk. I obviously have my money on the Hulk. But this is more of a friendly encounter between the two. So they're hanging out in the street here, and there's a Daily Bugle newspaper. I don't even know if they have those newsstands anymore. Not newsstands, but paper dispensers. And Spider-Man is right on top at eye level with the Hulk. And it's kind of friendly because the Hulk is just kind of staring mad at him. So it looks like they're friends in this. Very, very different than what you would traditionally see in a action dynamic diorama. So I do like the concept of this. I think it's completely different. The design is really cool. The light does turn on somehow. I don't know if you can see that in the camera or not, but cool little Easter egg. I really like the detail they put on the newspaper dispenser too, and how Hulk's just very stoic. One of the things we're going to talk about when we get to the face sculpt, very, very different face sculpt on Hulk. I don't love it. It's the reason I took so long to buy this, but just altogether kind of different concept. But let's dive right into the paint and the sculpt on this guy, starting at the base here. So on the sides of this base, the below the street level, it looks okay. It's brown. There's some texture to it. This is obviously a very unimportant part of the base, but it doesn't look the best. So not really going to concern myself with that. I do like the concrete on top of it. I like the texture. I like the cracks that are apparently assimilating from Hulk's feet. so you can show how powerful he is. Great paint on this too. It's got a mix of the same sandy dirt colors with the gray all over, and kind of some pavement stones on the upper level where the newspaper dispenser and the light pole are. Really good looking. And then almost, it looks like glue lines, but it could be moisture that they put in between some of the cracks on the upper level here. Light pole, I really like this. A lot of good shading on here, make it look old and weathered, like it's been out in the rain for a long, long time. I think they did a great job with that. And then the newspaper stand, so on the sides it has the Daily Bugle. Great paint on this too. Again, it has some weathering on top of the blue, so it's not exactly new. And then I'm assuming it's decals on the front here, but they're great looking. Where it shows, you know, how much to pay, and Spider-Man front page, superhero or super zero, and just a lot of detail in the framing around it, and the nuts or the bolts that are in the side. Really good job. Something small, but it adds a lot to it. So I like statues that do that. And if you look at this is pretty simplistic, but the more I stare at it, the more I really like it. So I'm excited I got it today. Then looking at Hulk's feet, his feet are okay. Yeah, there could have been some more definition in between his toes with the sculpt there. But, we're not going to stare at Hulk's feet all the time. I don't know how I would have made it different, but it doesn't strike me as awesome. You do see some veins in there, and the veins are going to be a lot more prevalent when you look at his arms, but some veins on the front of his feet. And it's his classic gray color. One of the things about Hulk's gray color, you see both light and dark. This is kind of a lighter gray. And then moving up to his pants, sculpted pants. There's some tears at the bottom, as there always is with Hulk, kind of flowing in the wind. It looks okay. Some folds right above his knees. The pants are skin tight, as they obviously would be after the transformation. Some cool seams running up the inside and outside of the legs. Same with on the back. You see plenty of folds, and then the seam riding up the back of his ass. Then you can see the pockets, and Hulk has huge balls in the front. Actually, you can't really see his balls. Either he has huge balls and a small dick, or a large dick and small balls. That'll keep me up at night. Awesome job on his belt. Not only the sculpt, but the paint really makes it pop. And I didn't really talk about the blue color on the pants, but it has these shades of darker black in it. Then here's some pictures of his chest. I don't like his abs. They're too squarish. And he has a six-pack there, but really squarish standing out. I do like his chest, though. Good musculature on those. He has excellent posture, by the way. And then looking at his arms, like I said, really veiny. And the veins aren't blue, but they are all over the place. And they may be a little bit overdone, but I like the musculature on his arms. And the same thing can be said about his back. Those huge neck muscles going into that really strange portrait that I was kind of telling you about. You can kind of see it here. First, his hair looks like he just woke up from sleeping, or he was wearing a hat. And then just interesting. His chin is so far sticking out. It doesn't look like the Hulk. I'm assuming this is based off of a comic that I'm unaware of, because I don't think anyone would kind of take this leap on their own. But just an interesting face sculpt. And then the spider webbing could be better if they used a little bit lighter, maybe a little bit more translucent. Wasn't as thick, maybe. I think that's the issue. But moving on to Spidey. Classic Spidey costume. It looks good. I like the Sideshow one a little bit better. I don't like the seam lines in his arms, but I don't know how they would have done that with that. It probably would have broken shipping if they didn't do that. Some cool folds. Classic black on the red for the webbing. And again, he's not in a really aggressive position, which makes me think that they're just friends hanging out. Also, another indicator of that is Hulk hasn't killed him yet. I don't think he'd stand there and take that. So, really interesting piece. I think I'm going to like it a lot with my collection, where it's going to go. But the more I look at it, the more I like it. So really appreciate Bill. Bought it from Bill. Thank you so much, man. Came in great condition, even though this is probably going to air weeks or months after I received it. So let me know what you think of this piece. Let me know what you think the best Hulk diorama out there is. Not Hulk piece, but Hulk diorama. So you have this one, you have Aaron Ray Perez, you have the Sideshow one of this, you have Sideshow Wolverine vs. Hulk. There's probably tons of others that I'm not even thinking of. So really appreciate you guys watching. Please drop me a like if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you next time. Take care.